In the high, thin air of the Ötzi Alps, on the border between Austria and Italy, a discovery was made that would force historians to rewrite what they thought they knew about our ancient past. It began not with a grand archaeological expedition, but with a chance encounter. On September 19, 1991, two German hikers, Helmut and Ötzi the Iceman, stumbled upon a site they assumed was a tragic mountaineering accident, a body frozen in the ice. What they had actually found was Europe's oldest known natural human mummy, a man who would come to be known as Ötzi. The initial recovery was a bungled affair, a testament to the fact that no one realized the true significance of the find. The body was pried from the ice with a jackhammer and a ski pole, its arm broken and its hip punctured in the process. It was only days later, when archaeologist Konrad Spindler examined a copper axe found with the body, that the world understood the magnitude of this discovery. This was no modern climber. Ötzi was a Copper Age man who had lived and died over 5,000 years ago, around 3300 BC. To put this in perspective, he walked the earth more than 500 years before the Great Pyramid of Giza was built. His body and belongings, freeze-dried by the glacier, offered an unprecedented, intimate window into a lost world. The preservation was extraordinary. Because he was encased in ice, his skin, internal organs, and even his last meal remained intact, ready to be examined by modern science. He stood just 5 feet 2 inches tall and was around 45 years old at the time of his death, a relatively advanced age for his time. He carried a copper axe, a flint dagger, a yew bow, and a quiver of arrows, tools that painted a picture of a technologically sophisticated society. His clothing was a complex assembly of hides and woven grass, and his body bore 61 tattoos, some of which were placed over arthritic joints, suggesting they may have been used for therapeutic purposes, much like an ancient form of acupuncture. For years, the mystery of how he died fueled intense speculation. Initially, it was thought he simply froze to death in a storm. But a remarkable breakthrough in 2001 rewrote the narrative. A CT scan revealed a flint arrowhead buried deep in his left shoulder, its shaft broken off. The arrow had severed a major artery, leading to a fatal bleed that would have been impossible to survive for long. Evidence of a deep stab wound on his hand and signs of a struggle suggested his final days were filled with violence and flight. Modern analysis of pollen, spores, and DNA from his stomach and intestines has even allowed scientists to reconstruct his final journey. He descended from mountains to a warmer valley, only to climb back up to the lethal altitude of 3,210 meters, where he would meet his end, perhaps fleeing from his attackers. He was a man on the run, and his killer's arrow finally caught him in a high mountain pass. Yet, even after his death, the Iceman's story was not over. The glacier that preserved him for millennia had not been a constant, stable tomb. Over the centuries, it had repeatedly melted and refrozen, exposing his body to the elements before sealing it away again. Today, Ötzi rests in a specially designed cold cell at the South Tyrol Museum of Archaeology in Bolzano, Italy, a frozen time capsule from a world lost to time. But the intrigue continues. Ongoing research has used his stomach contents to discover the bacteria Helicobacter pylori, providing insights into the evolution of the pathogen and human migration. His genome has been sequenced, and even some of the microbes frozen with him have been found to be dormant, but still alive, a haunting reminder that from death, echoes of life persist. Ötzi the Iceman is more than just a mummy. He is a man from a forgotten time, whose frozen remains speak to us across the millennia. He has given us the face of our ancestors, revealing not just how they died, but how they lived, fought, and survived. And in his story, we are reminded that the past is never truly frozen. It simply waits to be rediscovered, one piece of evidence at a time.